What up, Space Fam? Goes in here for AnimeUproar, and I'm back at it again to discuss the latest, craziest updates in the Demon Slayer story. If you enjoyed these weekly Demon Slayer videos, make sure to smash that like button to let me know. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell or else you won't know when future Demon Slayer videos come out. To help me decide what Demon Slayer videos you want me to make in the future, follow me on Instagram at AnimeUproar. Of course, there will be manga spoilers in this video. I'm going to be talking about the latest chapter, chapter 192 after all. Now without further ado, let's jump into it. We start this chapter with what I was wondering about last chapter, namely what did Tanjiro see before getting out of his coma-esque state. We know he viewed the memories of his ancestor and saw Yoriichi, but we didn't know the full extent of it. Thankfully, this chapter starts out by letting us know exactly what Tanjiro saw before the encounter with Muzan, and the information is huge. You guys know that I also love Yoriichi, so I'm always thankful when we get more scenes with him in them. After the series finishes, I'm going to have to make the definitive video on Yoriichi, including everything there is to know about him. This chapter has been translated as Revolving Connection, and we'll see why that's oh so significant. As I predicted, Tanjiro can learn a lot from seeing Yoriichi in action in his ancestors' memories. He's heard the explanation many times, but seeing Yoriichi actually perform the Breath of the Sun forms makes a big difference. His understanding goes up. He reveals that stuff like slight differences in wrist angle, the difference in hand placement, and getting a sense of the breathing made him realize how much his own movements were lacking. This is extremely interesting. Before, we could have assumed that the Breath of the Sun was passed down perfectly from Yoriichi through the Dance of the Fire God style, but this was clearly not the case. Thus, that means that despite how strong Tanjiro was against Akaza, there is an even higher level of power that Tanjiro can reach. That means that, as I guessed, awakened Tanjiro will have gotten a significant upgrade over pre-fainting Tanjiro. But let's get back to the memories for now. We're given more information about Yoriichi. He was a quiet and humble person, which is really cool because he was by far the most talented Demon Slayer ever, so he had a right to be arrogant if anyone did. But he wasn't, which just makes me respect him more. Suyako-san would ask Yoriichi to show her the sword forms, and he graciously did. Thus, the world pretty much has Suyako to thank for humanity's last hope for beating Muzan. Sumiyoshi, the ancestor who looks just like Tanjiro, concentrated on Yoriichi's movements. He looked carefully so as not to miss even one moment. The Breath of the Sun style was said to be breathtakingly beautiful. Tanjiro could understand why they were later replicated with the dance. With a sword, Yoriichi was said to resemble a spirit more than a human, which is an interesting thing to say. It reminds me of the selfless state. No humanly emotions like fighting spirit, hatred, or killing intent are present. It's almost as if Yoriichi has stopped being human while he's using the sword style. He's become one with the universe. He's not doing anything per se, he just is. Suyako and the child loved seeing the beautiful sword style, and Yoriichi bowed his head bashfully. Yoriichi truly has the qualities of a saint. Ultimate power and ultimate humility rolled into one being. Although he was told to visit again, it seemed like he wouldn't, since Yoriichi left behind his earrings. Sumiyoshi was sad to see him go. He told Yoriichi that he'll take over with the lives Yoriichi saved. In other words, Yoriichi saved their lives, and thus the lives of their future descendants. Through this act, Yoriichi eventually will indirectly beat Muzan. Sumiyoshi tells him that he is not a man of no worth, as Yoriichi sometimes thinks he is. Sumiyoshi tells him not to think that he didn't do anything. He promises to pass down the earrings and the Breath of the Sun to future generations. In response, Yoriichi gives him a very rare smile, and he thanks Sumiyoshi. It's a touching moment, and as we know now, Sumiyoshi kept his promise. He passed down the Breath of the Sun style through the Dance of the Fire God. The dance was passed down through the family all the way down to Tanjiro. As I said before, Tanjiro is clearly the successor of not only Yoriichi's style, but of his will, which is to lessen human suffering by defeating Muzan once and for all. Tanjiro goes on to thank Yoriichi and acknowledges that if not for him saving his ancestors, he and his family never could have been born. Yoriichi, in a very real sense, might end up stopping Muzan as he wanted to. He felt that that was his life's purpose, but he couldn't do it in his lifetime. Still though, he saved Tanjiro's ancestors and showed them the Breath of the Sun style. So if Tanjiro does beat Muzan, which is probably gonna happen, Yoriichi's life made that possible. In that case, Yoriichi did achieve his life's purpose, even if he had to die before it was fully completed. Furthermore, let me mention that Rengoku also saved Tanjiro, so we'll be able to say that he also played a vital role in Muzan's defeat when Tanjiro eventually beats him. That amazing firebender's sacrifice will not be in vain. His life was definitely not a waste. Tanjiro also points out how Tamayo played an important role that helped them push Muzan this far, and she was only able to do that because Yoriichi freed her from Muzan and spared her life. Maybe Yoriichi didn't kill Muzan directly, but he laid the groundwork for his eventual defeat while he was alive. As Tanjiro mentions, it is only because of Yoriichi's Breath of the Sun style that Tanjiro has any hope of beating Muzan. We are told that the Breath of the Sun forms were passed down with amazing accuracy despite the passing of hundreds of years. All 12 known forms are listed off. Then the 13th form is finally mentioned. The 13th form that's been hyped up for so long as a way to beat Muzan. It is mentioned how Tanjiro's father danced the dance of the fire god until dawn. Way back during the fight against Rui, we got a flashback about Tanjiro's dad. Tanjiro was shocked how he could dance for so long, and his dad told him that there's a special way of breathing that lets you never get tired no matter how long you move. He told Tanjiro that if he learned how to breathe properly, he would be able to dance forever. The craziest thing is that Tanjiro's dad was sick at this point, and he still managed to dance for so long. Now it all seems to be coming together. All the pieces of the puzzle are falling into place. This is exactly what Tanjiro needs. He is obviously tired and injured, but because of the properties of the Dance of the Fire God, this doesn't matter. He needs to last a seemingly impossible hour against Muzan until the sun comes up, but it's actually possible with the Dance of the Fire God that his father was able to perform until dawn in the past. Tanjiro then figures out when he sees through Muzan's body that the 13th and final form is actually the 12 forms he already knows repeated in succession. I really like this twist. Rather than being this brand new thing, the 13th form was something that Tanjiro already possessed. He just didn't know it. He decides that he'll use the Dance of the Fire God to cut Muzan's hearts and brains until dawn. Again, Tanjiro doesn't know if he can do it. He says that he doesn't possess Yoriichi's and his father's skill. He doesn't even know if he can stay alive until dawn. He doesn't know how to prevent Muzan from escaping when he uses that escape method where he explodes into 1,800 plus pieces of flesh. He questions whether he could do something Yoriichi himself couldn't, namely defeat Muzan. I like this part because it shows us a few things. One, it shows us that Tanjiro is humble like Yoriichi. Second, it lets us know that Tanjiro is uncertain about the outcome and even considers it more likely that he won't be able to do it. Thirdly, he's gonna try to do it anyways. Unlike the Flame Pillar, who lost confidence, he will embrace the uncertainty and give it his best shot. I really appreciate that about Tanjiro. He's not going around screaming that he's the strongest Demon Slayer ever, and he's not sure about the outcome. But he's still brave enough to give it his best shot. This is something we can all resonate with because in life, difficult situations will pop up. Then the choice is ours. Will we be like the Flame Pillar of the past and give up, or will we be like Tanjiro and give it our best shot even if our chances of winning are not good? Remember the quote, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Tanjiro is willing to take the shot. He promises that he will give his best to do what he can do. We see Rengoku's Tsuba, and Tanjiro reminds himself to keep his heart burning, as Rengoku would. Again, Rengoku's sacrifice made this moment possible, and furthermore, his example even helped inspire Tanjiro. Tanjiro goes on to attack Muzan, and the battle heats up. Once more, Muzan's PTSD kicks in. He looks at Tanjiro and he sees Yoriichi looking back at him, and he says a ghost, which is funny since he's pretty much like a vampire, but even he has something he's afraid of. Tanjiro gets hit suddenly, but he learns an important lesson. Muzan can change shape, and so his strikes come in unexpected ways. You cannot fight him as if he had a fixed form. Tanjiro also counts 19 tentacles that Muzan is using to fight, which is just crazy. The fact that anyone could survive 19 unpredictable, randomly moving tentacles is practically unimaginable. Tanjiro, though, is able to do it when he combines Yoriichi's forms. He sees that that's how they're designed, and he asks, "Isn't that right, Yoriichi?" That's an awesome moment, showing that Yoriichi is very much present in this final fight against Muzan. By the end of this chapter, Tanjiro looks completely on top of it. He looks determined to use all 12 forms in succession and win. What an amazing chapter this was. To say that things are really heating up now would be an understatement. This chapter was on fire. We got some crazy important updates and reveals, including the one about Tanjiro's final 13th form. Some things are still uncertain. We know that Demon Slayer is always full of complications, and Nezuko hasn't even shown up yet. there is no way that Tanjiro will just succeed in fighting Muzan alone like this until dawn, especially since he admitted himself that he doesn't know how to prevent him from escaping by using that method where he explodes into a bunch of small pieces of flesh. Tanjiro believes he is still a good deal less skilled than Yoriichi, so it's very unlikely that he can cut all 1,800 pieces of flesh when Yoriichi could only cut a little more than 1,500. In my view, we will need Nezuko and perhaps Zenitsu, Inosuke, Kanao, and whoever else can fight to help defeat Muzan for good. It will in the end probably be a team effort, even if that just means that the others will join in the end to help cut all those separate pieces of flesh. I know that Zenitsu and Inosuke don't look in good shape now, but if you look back on the series, you'll notice that characters tend to regain consciousness after such injuries and help when the time is right. Just think of the fight against Daki and Gyutaro. But whatever happens, it does seem like the series is really wrapping up. Yoriichi is being brought up, bringing the story full circle. Rengoku is being brought up as well, which also helps give closure to the story. If the story does end after this fight, I still think it will be a great ending and that Demon Slayer will go down as one of my favorite series of all time. However, there is the hope that it might continue. After all, wouldn't it be kind of weird if our main characters developed such powerful breath styles and became such powerful Demon Slayers only for them all to retire at the ages of 15 and 16? It could definitely happen, and all their arcs did wrap up nicely. Inosuke got revenge against Doma, Kanao got revenge against Doma, Zenitsu got revenge against Kaigaku, and after this battle, Tanjiro and the rest will have gotten revenge against the main villain. So it wouldn't be a bad, unsatisfying ending at all, but a part of me still wishes it wouldn't end. But anyways, that's it for this video. Let me know how you felt about this chapter, and how you feel about the end of the series in general. If you enjoy these weekly Demon Slayer chapter reviews, and want to keep them coming, make sure to smash that like button to let me know. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell so you don't miss future chapter reviews when they drop. For more Demon Slayer content and to help decide what videos I make in the future, follow me on Instagram at AnimeUproar. A special thank you goes out to our patrons over on Patreon who help us survive YouTube issues and who help make videos like this one possible. First and foremost, I want to thank our The One Tier patrons, the ones who stand atop all clans: Steven Ingrata, Alola Anatem, Makoto-kun, The World, Steelers, The School Bus, and Tyson Quirino. And I can't forget our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, $50 Beat, Alpha Dio, Anatoly Kazatsky, Angel Cruz, Team Sparky65, Cricket XP, Rohan Kapoor, Jessica Maloney, Emperor Otaku, Timothy Edward Vargas, Gene Dark, and Joe Stanton. Thank you all so much. If you enjoy our work, you can support more by going over to patreon.com/AnimeUproar and becoming a patron today for as little as $1. If you do so, you'll get your name featured in future videos alongside these epic people right here, and you'll even get access to our private patron-only Discord, where we talk about anime, life, and of course, dank memes. So check out patreon.com/AnimeUproar, link in the description if you're interested. You can now also join the YouTube channel and support more content that way if you prefer. Whichever way you choose to support us, you will get the same great benefits. Thanks for everything, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboy.